Alright, so boom, y'all thought I was wildin'. 2 years ago, last year, I'm complaining about how the algorithm on social media has since become a pipeline to OnlyFans and the hub. Now, all I'm seeing on Instagram, all I'm seeing on Twitter X, individuals complaining about how they can't stop seeing ass and absolute degeneracy on their timeline. What I tell you, I said it's only a matter of time before the vast majority of your timeline is nothing but absolute adult content. Furthermore, this gives me more appreciation for the freaks of yesteryear. I'm talking about those individuals who was into super kinky shit before social media started to boom about 15 years ago. Those are the true freaks of all freaks. I got nothing against particular kinks nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been given a bad rap as it pertains to kink shaming. All right, but last night I watched an amazing episode of Monday Night Raw, and Rhea Ripley took to the ring and said something very poignant. Okay, she said how she could post a picture or video and the freaks online would eat it up and go crazy. I feel seen. She must be talking about me, but we not here to talk about that right now. However, the freaks of yesteryear at least was able to do what they had to do with a bit of courage, because the freaks of yesteryear who was into super kinky shit couldn't simply post online as a way to advertise to build a community. They had to go door to door, face to face, person to person. Maybe not so much door to door. That'll mess around and catch you, whether you're inside of a casket or perhaps you find yourself locked up behind bars. Don't do that door to door. I promise it's not going to be a good time. All right. But they had to do stuff person to person in order to identify if somebody was freaky or willing to get freaky on their level. Because you couldn't just introduce this type of situation to somebody randomly. You had to build and cultivate a relationship to go ahead and do so. From what I would assume, I don't qualify for those freaky individuals. Now, there's different, levels of kinky. All right. At the lowest level, you probably got whatever you do with toys by your lonesome or very small, situations. You into feet? Okay, cool. You a low level freak. Now, the vajankle type situation, that's a much higher level. I think anything with insertion that involves extra individuals or perhaps something that would absolutely be frowned upon by the populace, that's probably extreme levels of freaky. I think if you include extra human beings, you're already at peak freakiness. I know now it's since commonplace to involve a third, fourth, perhaps group activity, but that is still extreme freakiness level. Nevertheless, if you happen to engage in toys or anything that's on the level of like latex fetishes, foot fetishes, I would assume, like if you into shoes and lingerie and all the other types of stuff, that's low level, right? Mid-level, we're now talking about, extreme kind of, well, they used to be extreme, I guess like butt play, things of that nature. Well, insertion in butt play, I would assume that would now bring you to extreme particular kind of level. Analingus, things of that nature. You're now at the medium, kind of freak. All right, you're introducing like food into situation, edible arrangements. You eating people's clothes because you set it up in a situation where it's consumable. And I would assume, or I should say, we can confirm the highest level would be introducing extra, parties and also insertion of the extreme, capacity where you got individuals now procrastinating, or I should say, they out here showcasing to the world that they inserting motherfucking things of this size into, a cavity in their body. But one way or another, the individuals of yesteryear couldn't do this en masse on social media. You couldn't take out no damn press release. You couldn't put in the paper, hey, I'm interested in sticking, a shoe up my ass. Would anybody like to partake in sticking shoes up your ass? I love to eat ass while trimming the blades of my grass. You would have been stoned, shunned, and absolutely ostracized from your community. You couldn't do this in public the way they doing it nowadays. So I got a little bit of respect for those back in the day, because you did run the risk of being exposed as a super freak in your community. Because think about it. If you go out to a bar, you go out to a party, you happen to engage on a date, something of that nature, the individual who you're now exposing to your kink and what you into, you run the risk of them not being into that. And obviously, because you want to be very consensual, no diddy, you want to make sure you're in a position to where if they say, oh, I'm not with it, then you got to, be comfortable with the fact that they now aware that you super freaky and they go about their day. Or if they're interested in what you got going on, guess what? You just found somebody who you can now engage in that super freaky behavior with. But you had to be open to exposing yourself on a one-to-one situation. And old school freaky motherfuckers who understood that there was a stigma behind damn near all that freaky, individualistic type of shit or possible group type shit had to, live their life with that situation. Now, we got these new age freaks who just put everything on social media when they family on social media, no shame whatsoever. You fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, fresh into unemployment. You in a situation to where you want some, hey man, I really don't care how I'll be judged. We just gonna accept everything up this motherfucker. You straight up, first social media post, here's my legs and what I love to do with them. What part of the game is this? Where's this coming to? And like I said a couple of years ago, and like I talked about last year, now it's gotten to a point where the whole algorithm is this shit. Y'all thought I was wildin'. I said it was only a matter of time before social media becomes a damn pipeline to the hub, and now that's exactly what the fuck it's looking like right now. So I wanted to take a moment to shout out and appreciate the old freaks of yesteryear. Those elderly individuals who are retired super freaks that most people would never know that they engaged in that activity because they wasn't all over the internet broadcasting that shit the way that these new age freaks is doing. Because call it what it is. And I've said this before. How many of these new age freaks gonna keep up this same behavior in about 10, 15 to 20 years? More often than not, when you see somebody who's been working in adult content, you see them end up resenting the fact that they since did it years down the line. And moreover, think about it like this. If they have offsprings, or those of them who do have offspring, do they sit over here and promote and project their offsprings to pertain, or I should say, operate in the same particular kind of behaviors and activities that they engaged in when they were younger? No, because they know that shit wrong. There's a certain particular kind of audience that's into that shit, which by all means, that's what you want to do. Cool. Just don't try to sit here and congregate and bring and recruit and groom individuals into it. All in all, I'm glad that now people's eyes is being opened. The awakening on social media is since transpiring, and people are starting to recognize, it don't matter whether I'm interested in what's being promoted or not. For whatever reason, it's on my timeline. I said this before. Y'all was on some, it's just on your For You page. It's just on your Explore page because maybe you liking posts that may relate to this. I told y'all. I said it's only a matter of time before it starts to reach to you. You thought it was all curated based on what you like. They done took that out the algorithm years ago. Now this shit keep popping up left and right. You see out on Instagram where it says check if interested and then the X if not interested. You can click the X 10 times in a row. It's still gonna show the fuck up. So I say all this to say, y'all better start monitoring y'all social media. You better start filtering motherfucking shit, because it's only a matter of time before it start popping up en masse for you. And if it's already started, you've been compromised. I'm trying to wipe everything on my Explore page, fam. It's getting ridiculous. And Twitter, it's over. It's over. Go click on any viral tweet. Take a look in the goddamn comment section. Motherfuckers is getting busy. It's bad. TikTok already wildin'. Facebook, I think, is probably the last pure location. And that's saying something. Because Twitter's done. Instagram well on its way. TikTok is damn near softcore. TikTok out here looking like what late nights on BET Uncut was looking like. Or maybe if you turn on the television at 3 a.m. and you got some wild infomercial talking about girls gone wild. That's what TikTok looking like right now. Facebook seems to be the last pure social media site. And I'm barely on Facebook, so I can't even really confirm said sentiment. Somebody in the comment section gonna have to let me know. But it's getting wild right now. I told you it was gonna get crazy. I told you. Motherfuckers said I was wilding. They said I was crazy. Now look at it. It's getting nasty. Y'all better protect yourselves. Message. You mean to tell me you watched the entire video but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button! button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to the Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Please! Please!
What are you waiting for, huh?
Oh my god.